All right, thanks for joining us again, Ellyse.
Anytime.
You did such a good job on our volunteer overview, which you can view
Thank you.
here if you like. But we've got you here today to talk about Global Work and Travel's au pair trips. We'd love your insight, and if you could explain how it all works, that would be fantastic.
I'd absolutely love to. So au pairing overseas is where you get to be a live-in nanny, essentially, to look after children all over the world, which is really, really, really fun, especially for our first-time travellers who've never lived abroad before. So in a snapshot, what au pairing is looking after children in a household, doing educational games with them, maybe helping them with their homework, putting them to bed, reading books, all the fun stuff, really, like the fun parts of being like a mum or a dad is what au pairs get to be, which is really fun. So anyone that has experience working with children and is really passionate about working with kids as well, this is a really, really cool way to explore the world and do what you love at the same time.
Do you have a particular favourite of the au pair trips?
I have a few actually for this one. All of our au pair programs run quite similarly to each other. The biggest difference is really the destination. So my top favourites, I'll say, is just Europe. So Italy, France and Spain are the locations that we have in Europe, and I just think that that's an amazing way to live in a country that might not have English as their first language, but you feel quite comfortable being over there in a really safe environment rather than travelling to places like that solo.
Because English isn't their first language, do you find that is an issue?
Not at all. The families actually don't want our au pairs to speak their native language, because one of the benefits of them having one of our au pairs on board is for their English to improve and their kids' English to improve as well. So they do only want our pairs to speak English while they're overseas, and the families do speak basic English that all of our au pairs are going to feel comfortable, and there's no need for them to be fluent in the native language at all. An added benefit of being an au pair overseas as well is that it's a really inexpensive way to travel overseas, in the way that the trip itself is nearly all inclusive, in the way that you don't have to pay rent or Wi-Fi or utilities or even meals. Like, you are part of the family as an au pair. So it's a great way on a budget to see the world, do what you love, and know that everything that you're earning is just pocket money for you to use on your days off to see everything that is on your bucket list of that destination as well.
Awesome. So we have some videos from our travellers overseas. If you could run through a day-to-day basis on what an au pair would do, that would be great.
So a day in the life being an au pair, you'd usually wake up quite early to get the kids out of bed, usually ready for daycare or ready for school, whatever it is that they have on that day. So getting them ready, helping them with breakfast, getting all of that sorted and getting them out of the house. Now, depending on the family, you might drive them yourself to school with the family car that's available for the au pair, or you might just walk them to the closest bus stop, depending on the location that you're at. And then once the kids are at school, usually this is when the au pair will actually get some downtime to relax, read a book, watch Netflix, enjoy the time to yourself where you're not with the kids. And then when it's time for school pickup or daycare pickup, the afternoon is probably the most fun time to be an au pair, because this is when you'll take the kids to any extracurricular activities that they might do. If they have any soccer training or dance training or anything like that, you do get to be quite involved in their extracurricular if they do any, which is really fun. Otherwise, it's helping them with homework, taking them to the park after school or taking them to the movies, playing with them, you know, helping them with their English if you are going to a non-English speaking country. And then of course, kids usually go to bed decently early, so you'll have the night to usually relax with the parents or relax by yourself. All of our au pairs will always have their own room and their own space in the house to wind down after your day with the kids. If you're there over holiday seasons, au pairs get to go away with the families on their holiday trips. So, you know, if you're in Europe for the summer and they go to their holiday home, if they're lucky enough to have one, that's really fun, tagging along to their family locations, because a lot of our families are usually upper middle class and above, so they're quite well off to have the au pairs. So you're always going to be with an absolutely amazing family that has the facilities to, of course, look after all of our travellers, which is amazing. But yeah, your spare time when you're not, of course, with the kids, you do get to explore what is going to be your new home. So it seems like a lot of these au pairs are using the most of their days off to go see everything on their bucket list, all those tourist locations that they might want to see, hikes that they want to go on, anything that they want to do to kind of have downtime before the kids do get back from school or before they start their au pair work for the next day. So being an au pair, it's of course very important to still be able to make friends with other au pairs that are in the same area as you, because of course that's one of the best things about traveling, is meeting other like-minded travelers. So all of our global work and travel travelers, they do have access to their very own G World accounts, which does have features where they can meet other travelers while they are overseas. So we can see here that we've got people meeting up so that you can have friends overseas, travel buddies, other au pairs to hang out with and meet up with. That way it just adds that extra security of knowing that you're definitely not going to be alone while you're overseas. You're going to have that social aspect in with your role as well. Being an au pair with global work and travel, you do get full access to family profiles as well. All of our families are vetted and police checked, so you know that you're going to be really safe and with a really great family while you're overseas as well. So if you're going to au pair, do it right, do it with the safety of going over with a company that is going to support you the entire time that you are overseas before you depart and when you arrive in country as well. You do get to meet the family before leaving, so you'll know exactly what you're doing, who you're going to be staying with. You'll get to meet the kids before you arrive as well, so they know the exact au pair that's coming to look after them in their house at the same time. Sometimes the kids like to show up at the airport if your flight does come in at a decent time, and they make cute little signs to welcome you, which is the sweetest thing, of course, from the little ones. So it's the perfect way to get paid and see so much of the world on an amazing budget. You're getting paid to travel at this point, which is phenomenal. It's the best way to do it, 100%. So the more time that you give yourself to match with the perfect family, at the end of the day, you do have to live with them. We want to make sure that it is going to be the most perfect family match for all of our au pairs. So anyone interested in being an au pair overseas and working with kids in a completely different culture and a different environment to really build your resume and have the best time overseas, sign up with us today.